Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Frankie, and I'm glad to be here with you all. Today, we're going to be talking about disclosing your kinks. I know many of you are, really sexually curious. Maybe you're thinking, like about exploring. And I know there's a lot of reactions and responses to a lot of the sex content, BDSM content that I put out there. And I thought I would talk about kind of how to talk about kinks, your kinks specifically. But before I jump into today's topic, thank you all to those who are subscribers of my channel. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I'm a clinical psychologist, board certified sex therapist, and the CEO of a large matchmaking firm based in the United States. So if you're single, get in there, contact us. If we're not the right match for you, we will connect you with the right matchmaker. We know hundreds of matchmakers all over the world. And we'd love to make sure that you get in the right matchmaker's hands so that they can support you in finding someone amazing to share your life with. And then if you're looking for coaching, you're wanting to date smarter, you're wanting to see a pattern of behavior, you want to break it, reach out to us. And, feel free to comment below if you have any questions, reactions to my content, anything I haven't covered. I would love to be able to cover topics maybe that I haven't thought of that are interesting and curious to you, because it gives me something to research. And I'm one person. I have a little team that supports me, but we can't think of it all. So I need you. There's over 20,000 subscribers here. So I need you to help me out by not just showing up and sharing my content and liking it and commenting, but also suggesting whenever you think that there's something you want to learn more about, or maybe even want to begin to learn about. So just because I haven't talked about it doesn't mean that I'm not open and curious to explore it and share my thoughts on it. So let's jump in. Disclosing your kinks. You're really hitting it off on a first date. Sparks are flying as you tell jokes and you share anecdotes about your life. It's hard to be fully present in the moment. However, because you're preoccupied with a question of timing, you want to let this person know what you're into and find out whether they're compatible with you. But is it that something you should bring up right now, or is it more appropriate later? When is it too soon? And when is it too late to bring up a kink or sexual practice that's important to you to a potential sexual partner? Here's what I recommend when it comes to disclosing kinks with new people. What's your motivation for disclosing your kinks? It's hard enough to decide what to talk about on a first date, whether it's to keep it light and flirty or delve into your last bad breakup or ask about your date's childhood. You have to decide in part whether your goal is to have fun and get a sense of social compatibility or delve into topics that might be less pleasant. But what could help determine whether this person is a compatible partner? That's what you want to consider. After all, if you're dating to find a spouse and have children and your date knows they don't want any, isn't that helpful to know right off the bat so you don't waste your own time and their time and so on? Deciding whether and how to disclose your kinks involves a similar calculus. It's hard to know what the right approach is without knowing what you want out of the interaction. Are you gauging sexual compatibility to see if you should take this person home tonight? Is BDSM an important part of your life and you're talking about your interests in general? Are you checking to make sure your date isn't negative? Knowing these answers to these questions will help grant some perspective as far as if, when, and how this needs to be a priority to you. If you're about to get into things with a new sex partner, disclosure may be a very simple decision. It's useful to talk about whether kink is on the table at all, and if so, for both of you to share what you're into, just so you can be on the same page about what you want to do together in bed. This doesn't have to be a complex or arduous process. It's a perfect application for a yes, no, maybe list, which I've talked about previously. What role does kink or BDSM play in your life? To the extent that dating is about vetting and pursuing a potential serious partner, it's often recommended to cover important relationship values or life goals somewhat early on to see if you're compatible. It might be premature to discuss or just, I mean, to discuss whether you're having kids on a first date, but you might also be dismayed to be 6 months into a now serious relationship and learn that your partner, like their wants are fundamentally different than yours. Similarly, It's helpful to assess what role kink plays in your life to figure out how soon to bring it up when getting to know a new sex partner. If it's an important part of your lifestyles and community, you're at leather and latex parties every weekend and you rarely, if ever, have vanilla sex, it might be helpful to bring up pretty early on. It may feel like a risk in that it may scare some people off, and it's true that some people might feel differently about you or not be available for what you want. But it's important to remember that this is actually a positive outcome. Knowing who isn't the right fit for you is as important a part of dating as knowing who is. If they're on the same page and also feel into kink as a broad category, you have plenty of time to get comfortable with each other and disclose what you're into. If you're more curious about kink as something you're interested in trying, there's all these shenanigans going on behind me, hysterically funny, or taking on occasionally, you might be more interested in waiting to get to know someone better and develop some of the trust and rapport that will help you both feel comfortable exploring whatever you're interested in. Are you looking to disclose or have a conversation? Disclosure often implies making a kind of one sided announcement, and that the person receiving this disclosure might object or take issue with it. There's nothing wrong with disclosing your kinks or the fact that you're into BDSM at all, but it may feel better to you and your date if it's less of an announcement and more of a reciprocal conversation. Whether your date is into kink or not, they're also a multifaceted person with a rich sexual identity of some kind, which may include things you aren't into as well. Consider opening up a back and forth and asking your date what they're into broadly, creating an opportunity for both of you to share what you're looking for in a sexual dynamic freely without judgment. That's it. It's what I have for you. I hope you're entertained by not just what I'm sharing, not just the topic and my suggestions, but this Ollie guy, my cat, my 10-year-old Maine Coon, and my corgi, JJ, is just like sometimes they get antsy in here. They hang out with me all day long, and they do all these shenanigans behind me. So I find them to be quite humorous. All right, everyone. So glad you tuned in. Hope you got something out of what I shared today, and keep showing up, and I'll keep showing up for you. Kisses, hugs. See you next time.